right, people. If you're jumping in from the live, I don't know how lives actually work. I don't think it shows the title. I'm not 1,000% sure if it shows the title after I am done and I post it, or if people when they're scrolling see it. Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna finalize these bluegill to get them to look like this. I have 10 that I need to finish, and it's not much left on each of them. I am actually going to not put those lines in every single one of them, but I will put the fade in there. So what we're going to start with is God, that's kind of high. We're going to start with the fins, and then the bluegill actual plate, and then the ear, and it will be done with the airbrush part of this segment of lures. The next step will actually be, or the next lure that I will be painting or trying out, which I haven't done, is a koi fish. The only thing that I am waiting for, or I need to do, is I need to make a scale pattern that I like, a little bit bigger than the usual scale pattern that I have. I won't be using the metal mesh. What's going on, man? Just trying to finalize these bluegill and move on to the next set of lures. How you been? I think I seen you posted some crappies. Are those new, like recent, or just something old? The two colors that I will be using for the fin. Whoa. Now that would have sucked if that was open. But these two, I'm gonna go from the yellow brown fade to get this effect without the lines in it. I don't think I'm gonna put the lines in these. Oh, you're traveling. Okay. Okay, I remember saying that you were gonna try some. Or we're gonna do some. All right, so we're gonna knock these fins out. So my fin wheel and also my air wheel. To the people who airbrush, I notice with fins, some people like put tape over them so that they don't uh, look like this per se, where the actual lines will go into the fins or the scales. In my case, I personally don't mind because fins are transparent, so I kind of want that transparent look. So I would literally just let it happen on both sides. Whatever happens in the fin, I just leave it and just spray right over top of it. Now I'm gonna do all 9 of these on the same side real quick. I am kind of in the assembly line mode for these. Which fin did I use? Okay. You work there? You know, this holiday, Christmas, I'm going to get food from Popeyes. I'm not cooking anything. I told my wife not to cook anything. Skipping all of that. Going straight to Popeyes, dude. And if you work there, you should just go ahead and do that versus all that holiday cooking. So basically that's what I'm doing, is just hitting it with yellow, all of them on the same side real fast, and then I'm gonna flip and hit the other side. All right. One, two, three, four. Running out of space. May have to put some of these off to the side. All right, this is one actually with the lines in the fin already. Oh, okay, I got space right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, I'm gonna move these out of the way real quick. All right. Oh man, I wouldn't even pay him any mind, man. The moderator that I usually have, or the one that usually comes in to control the content or the chat. I guess it's running a little late. I don't mind it. All right. Because everything that I'm using right now and showing you guys is not cheap. None whatsoever. Definitely requires you to work to have this. I actually was getting ready to purchase another airbrush last night, or just looking at them, and how much they've changed over the years. Just in price was like, man. Two more, and then we're gonna flip to the other side. Got you. I have to start that the comments are moving pretty quickly off the screen. And then also being that my phone is wrapped, because I just got it, I can not see all the comments clearly because I have it saran wrapped just to save it from the paint itself. I do appreciate it. Man, it disappeared. Someone said it that the paint job was coming out nice. I do appreciate that. That's more added work and time. And I don't play guitars or anything of that nature. What I did do for a while was I painted game controllers, Xbox, PlayStation, and stuff of that nature, but I never put that kind of stuff on YouTube. And gotten to a little bit of trouble with some people. They were all complaining, which I had to go and research and didn't know. You definitely could get in trouble by putting team logos and stuff on controllers and selling them. You gotta have a particular license. I got out of that before it got too bad, but I knew someone who was yeah, good and gone, and got in trouble with a couple of companies. Disney was one of them. They were painting. They wait for you to make a lot of money and then come after you. Understood. Understood. All right, so I'm gonna clean this off real quick. I don't have any paper towel. What did I do? Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. All right, I'm gonna clean this side off just to so it doesn't rub, and it's about to get, nope, it's not going to get loud. We should be good. I don't have to heat set anything yet. Yeah, nope, that's good. Not gonna overdo it. This one has the lines in the actual fin. And on the screen, everything looks really dark, but me looking at it, it's not showing up dark. But those lines, those lateral lines look really dark showing y'all. What's going on, Jay Fish? RP, if you're still there, once I go to the next step, I can switch you over to a moderator if you want. I don't necessarily personally need them. The trolls are, believe it or not, I used to be one when I was a lot younger. And just to be able to get under someone's skin was satisfying enough. I think that's where the tattooing came from. Being the fact that I can get some ink under some people's skin. Like, you know what? Trolling days are over. I did see a video the other night here on YouTube where a guy was trolling her and she found him. He owned a business. It was pretty bad. She drove 3 hours to find this guy. Found his business, found out about his wife, and found out that he was technically cheating. And she told him to apologize or she was going to make him famous. And he apologized. And I'm pretty sure somebody else made him famous because that's what some people like to do. Give other people a hard time. So I'm pretty sure TikTok, YouTube, or whoever found his wife and showed her the video. But these are actually coming out pretty nice. I like where it's going for it to be a freestyle and not technically following a picture or pattern per se. But once you do a few bluegill, they become, I guess you would call it second nature or muscle memory. What are they supposed to look like? I will say that I am overpainting these bluegills. This has been the longest live session of painting one particular style lure. But I figured that's how it would be. You know, that's what I was trying to figure out. And what happens is, some people don't, I don't know, it's just tricky. How can I say without sounding crazy? I'm going to blame it on YouTube. YouTube wants to see the person's face for some odd reason. They push this a lot faster with your face on there. But if there was a way for me to do it with like the glasses and you can literally just see directly what's going on, I would switch to that in a heartbeat. But first, I got to get those glasses and see if it actually works. That'll be my next goal for live, I guess. I was going to buy a second phone or grab a second phone, use my iPad or something. I'm just trying to figure out a way to set it up so that you can see it from different angles. But I am fairly new to this whole live thing, so Gotta figure it out. Plus, I want people to see it and take from what I'm using. Ooh, yeah, you missed the live while I did the juvenile rainbow trouts on a really small lure. Here's one for myself that I haven't did anything to. I just used the excess paint and paint over top of it. But yeah, I used that to make some juvenile trout, and I just took them to my shop at home and clear coated them there, because here there are other people who live in the building and the clear coat is really strong and it takes around 24 hours to cure. But actually, you know what, if you if you click on my thing, whatever you call it, my little logo or icon, it'll take you to everything that I do. And my latest short has the rainbow trout in it. And if you type in the name of my YouTube and put .com, you can see the bigger trout that I've done. But I like trout fishing as well. This here is the that little tiny thing that I just showed you. I don't know what it's called. It's a fake there's a couple of versions of it. So this one is called a Blux 70. The company will not send them to you blink. You have to get this. Here it is from them. I sandbox it, sandblast, and get the paint off of it. They won't send them to you blank. I've tried everything to get them to send that to me blank, and they will not do it. Just won't do it. And it's been like years, and I'm like, at least, I think the company's been doing it for at least 2 years. And I've asked like multiple times, and they're just like, no. No, he's asking about the lure that I just showed, unpainted. He's talking about that, but it comes like this. This is the lightest I could find it, where it's like the closest thing to Blux. That's the name of the company. I don't know if you can see it on there. BLUX. That's backwards and upside down. They swim amazing. It's a knockoff of the Gamecraft Jointed Claw 70. When they first came out, everybody was buying them. And I bought a bunch to repaint and just did a few of them, and then I got like a lot left. I'm looking at the bag right now, and it's easily 30 in that bag. I got an actual tackle box sitting over here with some sitting in it. I kind of gave up on them for real. It was just, I think I overwhelmed myself with too many of them things. All right, so what I'm gonna do real quick is I'm gonna heat set these. It's gonna get a little noisy. didn't do this one. Okay. If you are still here and not looking for them, I can send you a few. Just message me on Instagram before you go out and buy them. Test them out, see if you want to repaint them or not. I like them. I just have too many of them. When I get around to, oh, this one's done. This one's complete. What am I doing? I think what I did is I bought too much stuff for this upcoming show, and need to be done by January 10th, and I'm just looking at all the other lures that I gotta paint. Now, if somebody calls and says they want some work done from my regular job, this is going to put me even further behind. Yeah, man. Message me on Instagram. I'll definitely we could figure something out. Yeah, so they come like in that box right there, and they call themselves the Jack Claw, which the real company is Jointed Claw, which is pretty funny. But they just, he's like, you know what? We're just gonna take your entire lure. We're gonna jack it. And we're gonna call it the Jack Claw, and sell it at close to nothing in comparison to what the real one costs. The real one's like $30, and that one's like $5 to $8. I think they went on sale for like $2 at one point. All right, so now the next step I am going to do is the brown fade coming off the front end of the fin. So right up here, and let it splash its way back, just to give the fin a little more detailed look versus it just being a yellow splotch. And I'm gonna do that. I don't know if I want to use this F because I don't know how Let's see. Man, all right, I'm gonna try this F brush. My only issue with the F is fine, and this, let's see how this pours out first. If it comes out heavy, I'm gonna have to clean that medium brush out. I don't want to do that just yet. I may have to clean it out regardless. All right, a little drip. Let's just see. Okay, it's spraying out, so I'm gonna put just 2 drops in there because it doesn't require much. And I'm gonna put the stencil back on. And just work my way into the actual opening on the stencil. So what you guys couldn't see is that spot there, that brown spot. I sprayed on the actual stencil first and just worked my way into it to create that fade. And it now makes the fin stand out further away. I did not get the P.O. box thing squared away. So what happened was I hadn't used it. I was buying it in 6 months increments, and I moved into a different township and completely forgot about it. And it they wouldn't let it transfer over. So I need to actually buy a whole new one, and just never got around to buying it yet, just because of the holiday and new house and the economy. But as soon as the holiday is over, I will definitely have that squared away. Oh, this brush is spraying scary right now. I think that tip might be bent. What got me into painting? So 14 years ago, maybe now 15, a guy came into my shop and he wanted some tattoos done, and they were tattoos of lures that he had painted. And he said, I was like, man, how in the heck do you paint your own lures? And he said, I will give you the information if you give me this tattoo for free. And I think it was a well-deserved trade. At first I was like, man, I'm not doing your tattoo for free. I'm like, you about to just give me false information. But no, we went to his house, and he did a one-on-one seminar and said, what do you want to paint? And the first thing I tried was a bluegill. Was the worst mistake ever. And after realizing how hard it is to paint a really nice bluegill, I just made it my business to learn that, and got it from him. And it's been like that ever since. This airbrush, by the way, is, I don't know if you guys can see that, it's kind of stippling, and why it's stippling the paint on versus it coming out smooth, I put too much of what I can't find right now. It's a bottle of needle juice is what they call it. It didn't mix. It doesn't mix well. It's supposed to clean your airbrush needle off or make it so that the paint don't stick to it. But I think I put too much on and it's mixing. So if you're new, that's the stuff. It's a shortcut to cleaning your airbrush or your needle to keep you going. But at the same time, if you use too much, it will make the stuff not smooth. So how to fix that? I'm gonna have to I don't want to do this, but I'll do it. Just adjust. What I'm doing right now is just cleaning the extra juice off of that needle. All right, let's jump back in here and make sure this thing is working correctly. Let's see. It's not bad. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Oh, I wonder if I know him. I have like 2 or 3 on my Instagram that tattoo and paint lures. And both of them guys are actually really good at tattooing as well. Also, to answer the question above, I do sell them, and I also use them myself. That is kind of an issue. I get to a point where it's like, if you ever heard the saying, don't get high on your own supply, that's what happens. I will finish these bad boys and not want to sell them. But my name.com will take you to the site of stuff that I'm selling at the moment. These will be on there. Wait. Try to grab that before it dries. All right, I had a spot. Try to real bold on this, but here we go. Fade is back working. Which clear am I using at the moment? It is called KBS. I want to switch. I think I am going to switch once this jar runs out. I know next year I will switch. I want to try that UV stuff that everyone's been using as of late. And the only reason why is because seems easier to use in comparison to the KBS in the joints anyway, because you don't want this stuff to get in the joints. If it gets in the joints, it becomes a little bit of a pain. But yes, bluegill are tedious. There are some of the realistic paints that I do that aren't as nearly as tedious, but bluegill is definitely up there. A lot of work. But you can always shortcut it. I've seen people do bluegill and you could definitely tell that they just shortcutted it. In fact, the guy who taught me, he makes his lures from scratch now, everything. And he told me, he said, a lot of people will appreciate the paint job, but you're never going to make the money's worth for what you put into your bluegill. He actually said dumb it down, and I just couldn't. He'll paint a batch of these bluegill in like 30 minutes, and it'll look like a bluegill, but it would be really dumbed down a lot. But he also sells his between 35 all the way up to 150. I think the last I checked could be a little bit lower. I'd have to double check, but making it from scratch gets you more views per se in the fishing world. Is that the last one? And I can switch sides. Is this the last one? Oh no, this is the last one. All right, I am gonna swap sides real quick, and I want to clean this out since it's not much in here, just to get that extra oil off. I appreciate you subbing and oh, the bluegill. Okay, okay. Um, I'll look into that KVD stuff. I do appreciate the sub. And when am I going to test these? Me personally, there won't be a test. I actually did these. I've did these a couple of times, like multiple times already, on the website from my name. It must be thebait.com. If you click on any of the bluegill, you will see the test videos. There is a couple of people who've left reviews catching fish with them. I myself have not caught a fish with one of these ever in like the past 10 years. I've never caught a fish with one. I don't have the patience. I throw it a few times. If they don't bite it within like the first 15 minutes, I am done with it. But I have other people who just like throwing these bluegill. In fact, uh, back here in November, I shipped some to a couple of places. The one guy in Florida has been catching them on this lure. And I'm glad that he actually sent me videos because a lot of people will buy them and not use them. I really would like for people to buy them and use them. And they're like, I don't want to lose it. And I'm like, oh, come on. I get a lot of those buyers that don't like using them, which is understandable. All right. Oh, you use the KBS as well. Yeah, I have a big jar. Wait, hold on. Let me double check what I'm reading correctly. Um, Thank you. KBS makes a UV version of the diamond clear coat. Is that what you're saying? Or are you saying you use? Okay, all right. I was getting ready to say I definitely got to search that now. Okay. Yeah. How you say you bust out 10? How long does it take you to do them? What I'm doing right now, people, I don't recommend. What I just put in the actual airbrush is acetone. Especially if your airbrush is new, you don't want to use acetone. You really don't want to use acetone ever. Why am I doing it? These airbrushes are over 10 years old, and those original seals that are on all of the screw parts are gone. I've cleaned these airbrushes. I don't know. I lost count. But what I use now to seal the airbrush with on all of the screw points is plumbing tape. So I don't mind it. But that acetone cleans everything out of there, even the plastic seals and rings and grommets and stuff right out of your airbrush. It will destroy it if you don't know what you're doing. But I use the acetone to kind of kill that needle juice, dumb it down a little bit so that this paint can come out of this brush better. All right, so we're gonna hit the other side. Two drips. Don't need much. Make sure it's gonna spray correctly now. Oh, this thing's just being a pain. All right. So what I'm gonna do real quick is, this is the medium brush. I'm gonna blame it on the fine versus medium tip as to why that paint's not coming out correctly or how I want it to. So I'm just gonna clean this brush out real quick, real quick, and knock out that brown on a fin on each side, well, the other side. The website is called itmustbethebait.com. It's kind of new, so there's not a lot on there, or it's not, I don't think it's categorized correctly. I'm still working on it. If you go to shop, you can literally just scroll everything. It's definitely not categorized. You own some of these lures that I've done? Am I reading that correctly? All right, let's get back to it. Let's get back to it. Man, I didn't think spraying just this little bit would take so long. Oh yeah, that's it. That's it. All right. So in this case, being that this brush here is pushing the paint out with just like barely pulling back the trigger, gonna show you something. All right, so I'll show you with this one because it's already not attached. So on this brush, this piece back here, I call it the handicap. It adjusts how far the trigger itself can be pulled back just by turning this knob, and it closes it. So like I'm not getting any pullback, but that's enough with that brush to stop me from pulling it back too far and it blowing out. That's the reason why I like these airbrush, so I can literally not get blowouts. So what I did with this one, it has a 0 dial number from 0 to 4 on the top. If you can see those little numbers, come on. Come on. Yeah, well, it has those numbers on there. And I did one full turn basically to get the spot that I want. Whole lot better. Alrighty. Oh, okay. I was gonna say, did I do this one? What's going on? Yeah, this one has a rattle in it. It does come without rattles, and there's a floating model and then a sinking model. Okay, okay, all right. Because I was getting ready to ask. There would only be one place. This the upcoming show. Are you coming? Realistically, I would use them during spawn season. If you're after largemouth, um, and you're gonna probably want to just swim the bank line, and of course, you know how they are. They are really protective of their bed, especially. Um, that's the male. I don't know if you really honestly want the male. If you want the female, you want. Some people want it for the size, so try to get them before they start to lay the eggs. Me, I'm not. I'm not too hard pressed on the eggs and all of that, and I'll wait till they're actually finish their mating season, and the females will come and get these bluegill because they are hungry. And the depth is all about your location, realistically, where you live at in the world. I can't give you an exact thing. Now, I noticed with some of the bigger swim baits that I've been finally throwing, because I'm not a real swim bait person per se. For the smallmouth, man, them jokers been coming and getting it off the top of the water, and it's smallmouth is like a different mentality. I haven't even tried these for smallmouth. I have a bigger swim bait that I throw for smallmouth, and it's looks like a golden shiner or a roach. They tear that up. Why do you say you're lousy, dude? That I'm lousy with these lures. I'm not gonna lie to you. I haven't caught a fish on one of these things yet. Like I said, 15 minutes and I'm done with it. And I got some ponds that got some I feel like I got the state record in this one pond at this guy's house. I've caught 2 behemoths out of there on something really small. A jig. A 2-gram jig, man. And then I lost a really big one on a trout. A rainbow trout. That's actually my go-to lure, the rainbow trout. Like, what are you trying? Oh, you fish for trout mainly. Trout's a little bit of a trickier fish. You're gonna throw something. What I recommend for trout, all those creeks, depending on how fast it's moving, are those fast falling jerk bait. I'm trying to think of one off the top of my head that I know that works really well. Rosente is what the name of it is called. I want to say it's by Dual Realist. So you are gonna be there this year. Yeah, man, stop by and see the new stuff that I got. I don't know if you've been seeing any of the other lives. I got a bunch of new stuff that I'm gonna be selling, and then I'm gonna have some JDM stuff that I'm gonna be selling as well, and some Yak Attack stuff. Non-affiliated to Yak Attack. I just have some stuff that I got this year, and it collected dust when I got my kayak, and kind of figured it was 30 days late and didn't try to return it. So I'm just gonna sell it there. That backpack is what it's called. The full thing. I'm selling that whole entire thing. The thing I was putting together last year, if you came last year. It is January the 10th and 11th. Marysville's Line Club. It's what it's called. Capital City Bass Masters Annual. I think it's number 7. Fishing Expo. It's what it's called. It's a small venue, but I think we get like 50 or 60 vendors in there. Go to my name on Facebook, and it's all the information is posted on there, like all the details that'll get you the info a lot better than me just telling you here on live. Same name. It must be the bait on Facebook. This one has a, while I'm doing the other side real quick, this was the one that the oil splotted up. There we go. That's 35. Let me turn that down a little bit. Okay. I think we got one left, and we're going to be able to move to the next step. Hopefully, let me check this time. Yes. Next step is appreciate it. I appreciate it. The next step is adding the blue in the actual gill plates. There is 2 ways that I do it. I like to start with a dark blue, but in this case I think I'm gonna go straight appreciate it. All right, man. You show up from Philly, I'll have something for you. Personally. Just say you're the Congress guy. I'll have something for you. It won't be one of these though. I will promise you this. Because these things sell pretty quickly. So the next step is I'm lying. You know what? I'll give you one of these. Not this color though. I'll give you one out of my tackle box. We're going to do that blue there. I usually do 2 blues to create a more realistic, hard look. So I usually would go with a dark blue first, and then the light blue. But in this case, we're going to bypass that dark blue and figure out which one of these light blues is the right blue. Because I made a bunch of light blues and appreciate the sub. No, we're actually painting some realistic bluegill swim baits. A lot of people are asking me to step into the taxidermy thing, but that's a whole another time consuming thing. I think that might be retirement. I think that may be a retirement thing. That in the rod building. Um, right now, I just got a lot on my plate. The rods, tattooing. I actually got a guy's painting I need to finish too. Now that I'm thinking about it, geez. The show, which I usually only do one, but last year I did two. Another one in Red Lion, PA. I think it was only a 1 day event. I'm not 1,000% sure if I'm gonna do that one again. Just because I got the website now, you can kind of ship stuff out. All right, I'm cleaning this brush out real fast. Mainly because it is the fine brush, and to get this blue on these gill plates correctly, you do not want anything to spray out or overspray. Definitely want a fine line. Looking at them from here though, it's not necessarily needed. The silver's coming down onto the faceplate of the gill, kind of how I like it. But that orange kind of seeped on some of them on the plate. So I'm gonna do the blue. Just gotta figure out which one of these four blues is the right one. One's pretty heavy in comparison to the rest of them, and I just don't want to pour the wrong one and be doing what I'm doing now, cleaning out the brush. Man. Okay. I think we got most of it out. I'm gonna just hit it with this real quick. What's taking so long for me to clean this brush out is the gold flakes are a lot more bulkier in this fine tip, so it's having a little bit of a hard time blowing it out. And I got think I've gotten it all out of there. Then I also need to switch tips too, because I think this one's slightly bent. There we go. So if you're an airbrusher and you're wondering why I'm not wearing a mask, I'm in a pretty big room and I have a ventilation fan and it's sucking everything from one way out and then out from that way. I know one thing, my heat bill is going to be pretty high. All right, so we got to figure out which blue it is. I definitely know it's not that blue. How I'm going to determine which blue it is, I'm just going to take a drip or put a drip on the table. That might be it. That looks a little too dark. And what I'm looking for is the consistency of milk. That's dark. So that would actually be the first color I would use. So it's between these two. Nice, nice, nice. Mechanicsburg. Yeah, that's not too far from me. I don't go there often. Got nothing negative to say about it. I haven't fished there. All right, I'm gonna check this real quick. One drip. Just making a quick adjustment on the needle. All right. I'm gonna take this blue, and what I'm gonna do is run it on both the top lip and the bottom lip, and then run it down alongside the gill plate up to the ear. And this is opaque, by the way. I use this here, Createx. I think this is just opaque white. Yep, opaque white with some Createx. Oh, I'm getting ready to lie to you. I didn't use Createx. I mixed it with FW. Do I have a bottle of FW? Here we go. This stuff here, like literally one drop of dark blue and a half bottle of white to create that super light blue. Now the only thing about this is, being that it's opaque, it It does dry on the tip, and you have to pay attention to that. Because it'll will overspray, and this joint is trying to overspray on me. It's trying to overspray. All right, I'm gonna fix that. Why did the line come out smooth on here, but when I go to do it on the daggone lure, bugs out? This brush is just being a pain. All right, 1 second. I'm gonna swap muse, put in a new one. One second, people. I just want to make sure this needle is not bent. All right, that needle's not bent. We're gonna use this one for now, because I know for sure this one is bent. I am airbrushing swim baits. And it may not even be the needle, it may be the One second. Sorry for brief interruption and trying to figure out what the heck is going on. Ooh, this is gonna be tough. All right. So what we just ran into is my fine line brush is or the handicap fine line brush, I would say, is acting up. This one doesn't have a handicap on the back, so I have to be perfect on the trigger pull, or I am going to get blowout central. If y'all could have seen that. Came out smooth, man. I don't know how many times I'll be able to pull that off. Got 9 of these things to do. Just remember the opaque dries on the tip. So So if you feel like you need to start pulling back further because it's not coming out, it is not you. It is the tip drying. Yeah, that came out nice. All right, that's one. 9 more. You got an airbrush. What airbrush do you have? You don't mind me asking? All right, man. I'm kind of missing some of those comments trying to clean this thing off. What they need to add is some kind of like dinging noise or something to let me know on my end that a comment was made. Especially when I'm focused. And I will continue and not even look up at the phone. So the tip is drying. If you don't feel comfortable when you're doing super detailed close fine lines, two-handed to hold it into place. And this thing is trying to create a blowout on me, and I see what's going on. There is some oil. This must have been cleaned with the needle juice, as I see it. Let's see the mixture. Let me just spray that out real quick. All right. 2 down. Is that not done? Okay, it is. The mouth's not done. All right, you got 2. 7 more, I think it is. I'm gonna make this easier on myself real quick. I'm gonna take a Q-tip and I am gonna wet it so that I can clean that tip of that needle off a little bit more precise versus me just trying to stick my nail in there and get that oh, that would probably help too. I didn't realize there was so much black in there. All right. So this brush has an adjustment valve on the actual bottom when I am doing dots, I adjust that valve to create dots. Be right back.
All right, I'm back. That was scammer. Half the answer.
I'm at work. I think so as well. There are a couple of other ways to make them look real, and the one other way is called, what do you call it? I'm looking right there at the lure and don't remember what to call it. That's not painted on there. It's almost like a shrink wrap. There's a couple of different ways to do it. There's a company where you take the lure and you wrap it in this kind of like pre-made looking lure and you stick it in some hot water and it seals to the actual bait. That's another way. Those come out pretty cool if done correctly. That's called a water decal. I should have known that. I did it. It's called a water decal. So you would take and put a blank clear piece of water decal paper in your printer. You will print out the actual image you want and then spray those certain colors you want in certain spots. So, yep, spray those spots you actually want, and then you lay that on there, and then you clear coat it and give it another a realistic look. I personally prefer just the airbrush look. This paint's drying up really fast on the tip. Favorite lore that I've done? Hmm. There's a few. I would say I have five. One's not on the site. Um, the recent trial and error of the juvenile rainbow trout and how they came out like way above what I thought they would come out looking like. And I ended up just like, screw this, I'm gonna make 10 of them. I posted it on a Facebook page, and I don't think they're gonna make it to the show. I'll just put it that way. But I'm definitely gonna keep one for myself. There are like, I know it's well over 10 people who wanted it, which kind of threw me off. So I didn't think it would be that big of a turnaround. I told them let me at least test them to make sure that they swim correctly and everything. Then I have a really small fake Vision 110 minnow that I throw. That's not on the site, and I don't think I'm gonna put it on there. They don't swim correctly, but for some odd reason, this fall they wanted that. You know how jerkbaits are supposed to fall head down. I could not get this lure to go head down. It would always fall tail down. But the fish would take this thing within like the first few reels, few cranks, just one snap, and they grab it. And I'm like, all right. Only thing about it was I got the blink from a guy at the show that I'm doing. That I'm doing here in January. Got 1, 2, 3, 4 left, looks like. Getting down to the nitty gritty. Then there's I don't know if you ever heard of it. I'm going to say the wrong name, and it's not Repeller. Storm. Storm makes a thin fin, but somebody made a micro version of that years ago. I had a few of those. I actually had like 100 of them, and I gave like 10 to my dad, and then I kept a few to myself, and then I sold some, and then somebody stole some. But it was a simple paint job, just black and white, nothing crazy. And like that as well. And I like it so. And then the last one is an angry trout. I found the blank on a Chinese site and posted it, and a bunch of people, I guess, figured out where they came from, or other companies started selling it. But that is definitely my top 5 that I paint myself. In fact, any lure that's on my site, it must be thebait.com. Those are the ones that I trust. I wouldn't post anything that I didn't trust or I know works. If it didn't work, I'm not going to post it. I'm not going to waste my time with it. And it may work smoother in your area. If it don't work in mine, I won't mess with it. Oh, come on. Oh. Two more. Check this time real quick. All right. Last one. With this airbrush, I notice whenever that thing, the compressor starts, the air pushes the paint out kind of funny. I guess that has to do with just the fact that there's not enough pressure. All right, we got all of the gill plates done. The blue, I guess that's the reason why they call it the blue gill. There would be no other reason, I would assume. I'm gonna clean this out real fast, and we're gonna do the ear. I'm just gonna stick with this brush and get the job done. And the last step, which I'm not going to go live or even post, is just adding the eyes and dipping the lures. That would be tonight. I will do that at my home shop. The black does override most colors, and I would just kind of just dip it and keep going. But in this case, because the opaque white was added to it, what'll happen to that black, it will become gray. And the ear on the bluegill is a true black. One of the few fish that, freshwater anyway, that I paint where I use true black. Between that and the shad, maybe a koi fish, but true black on top is like the final color. That's gonna, nothing's going over top of that. If it does, it mutes it. All right, I think I got it all out for the most part. Good, good, good. How are you holding up? All right, last and final step. Let's just hope that this works the first time around. What I'm doing right now is just making sure that it's just true black. Appreciate it. All right, we're gonna knock this out, and these will be done. I just need to find here, right in front of my face. Gloves broken off. All right, so I'm gonna use this part right here where all that black is at in that open space. There you go. And I'm gonna put it to the ear that you guys can't see, and I'll show you real quick that is the final step. I'm gonna do that on all of these. I would usually no stencil this part, but I don't want it to go over the actual piece. You can actually see there's an actual ear that's made on this bait, and I want to kind of make sure it stays right in that area. Alrighty. I am going to hit every single one of these. I got 9, so we're talking like 18 ears to make sure they all can hear. And then what I'm also going to do is I think I'm just going to run through them without showing you guys. Oh, that's the finished one. Okay. Probably would be easier if I just had them all right in front of me and just zap them joints. All right, man, take care. Appreciate you stopping in and dropping a like, leaving a few comments. The heck did I do with the bottle of black? What in the world? All right, let me actually close these up while I'm looking. And it's probably right in front of my face. There it is. I see it. Let me close these up. I am gonna finish or do maybe just 1 or 2 more, and I have to get ready to go. I see the time. I don't think I'm gonna come back live with these bluegill. The next time I come back, we will be, or you guys will be watching, and I will be painting a koi fish. The bluegill will be done. I will, of course, post a short video or short whatever you call it, the little short YouTube thing showing all of them in their finished product look. But while I am wrapping this up, I will say I appreciate the comments, the likes, any shares that's being done. The super likes, or whatever they're called. I might be calling them the wrong things. When I held the lure up, I can see that it had a number over there. I'm pretty new to that too. Woo! It had like 63. Yep. Appreciate that as well. Almost dropped that. I'm gonna finish these two. So what I will say also, with the koi fish, I want a different scale pattern. So it may be 2 days before I come back with the on live. There may be a video drop of a rod and reel combo that I got in between the times, just to keep the page, I guess you would say, active. And I also changed the name from the multi-species angler back to the original name because the website is live. So if you want to check that out, you can. I have to clean these brushes and get ready to roll. So until next time, peace out. Is this thing gonna spray and black out the screen or not? There we go.